Well, we're at the top of the hour. I want to welcome everyone to our live Saturday morning training program. If you're on an open mic, I would just ask that you would mute it so that I don't have to go in and mute everyone. And as we go through today's presentation, we want to show you a tool that's been created to go along with the Purify Kit from Synergy Worldwide. This is just finished up yesterday. I don't have it up on the internet yet, but when I send out the email newsletter Monday morning, I'll have a direct link for this PDF so that you can use it off of the internet. And as you can see by the title, it's called the 3 E's and the 4 R's, the gut health. It's a manual that we're going to brand and use for both the Purify, Fortify, and the Protect program. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through this. As you can see by the opening cover, it says, helping you learn how to naturally reset your microbiome. The 3 E's are eliminate dysbiosis, eliminate inflammation, eliminate leaky gut. That's the whole goal of what we're trying to do in resetting the microbiome. How do we do that? We do it with the 4 R's, which is remove foods and factors that damage your gut, replace with healthy foods, repair with specific supplements, rebalance with prebiotics and probiotics. And this manual is designed to be able to help people who go on the Purify Kit to be able to begin the process of resetting their gut health and giving them some expanded information that they don't necessarily get with the manual that comes with the Purify Kit. You'll notice that I have Purify, Fortify, and Protect. We want people to understand that there's 3 parts to their journey in resetting their gut health. It starts with Purify, then they want to fortify it, and if they choose not to go through the Fortify program, then they definitely want to protect what they've done. So we want to begin this process of branding those 3 steps in their mind as a journey towards resetting their gut health. And in this case, this is the Purify Manual that goes with the first step. You want to purify, begin that resetting process of the microbiome. Now, in this document, we have a table of contents, and I'll go over this not on this slide, but as I go through it. And this is here so that a person can quickly go to a page, either after they've gone through the manual or they need to be refreshed, or they're looking for some piece of information, or if you're looking for some piece of information, you can go to the table of contents, see the page number, and then quickly go to that section of the manual. One of the things that we want to start out on page 1 is helping them understand the resetting of their microbiome for elite health through Purify, Fortify, and Protect. And so we give a basic overview of what we're trying to do. And our product of choice is Synergy Worldwide's Microbiome Purify Kit. Again, we want to use the same strategy that we use for nitric oxide therapy. It's not about telling people about Synergy's Purify Kit. It's just like it's not about telling people about ProArginine Plus. What it is it's helping people understand how nitric oxide therapy can help them improve their cardiovascular health. In this case, it's about how they can use microbiome research to reset their gut health, to address that abdominal distress that they're facing, or address that autoimmune disease that they have, or address the weight management issues that they've been struggling with for a long period of time, or to address their lack of energy that they've been experiencing. So you want to, again, use the same type of method, microbiome research, to reset your gut health so that you can see improvements in these areas with this to you. So you want to be able to use that same process to create the interest to want them to get more information. And then as they see the information and especially if you've been through the Purify program and continue on the Fortify or the Protect and continue to reshape yourself, you're going to provide them with visible evidence of what it's done for you. If you learn how to leverage clients that you're working with, their before and after pictures, and how the visible evidence of what resetting their microbiome has done for them, not only will you be educating them, you'll be showing them, they'll be able to see the results, and then they'll want to participate and know, how did those people do that? Well, our product of choice is Synergy Worldwide's Microbiome Purify Kit. Then the next thing that we did in this program, or this manual, is we want people to understand the component products that are in the Purify Kit. Why are these products in there? Specifically, how do they relate to the 3 E's, like the Biome DTX, how it relates to addressing inflammation, how it relates to weight management issues, how it, again, when you look at the different component parts that are part of the Biome DTX, that it works towards addressing leaky gut and inflammation. And then the Biome Shake, again, how it addresses, balancing your microbiome, and again, why it's in there, why we're using this as a component part of this Purify Kit. We want to talk about the Biome Actives and help them understand why we're using the Biome Actives and how the Body Prime fits into this whole process of resetting their microbiome. And then we want them to understand that ProteinRich Plus is part of their kit. In addition to resetting their gut health, we also want them to address their cardiovascular system through nitric oxide therapy. And the best product in the world for addressing nitric oxide therapy is ProteinRich Plus. And especially as they improve the environment of their gut, as they reset their gut health, they're going to do an even better job absorbing those nutrients that are not only going to address their health issues, but also help them to improve their cardiovascular health, as well as we want to make sure that we show that ProteinRich Plus is clinically proven, as well as in the physician's desk reference. Unique selling points to show the validity of why we're using this product and why we've chosen this system to be the one that we're using. In the next section, we have the Purify Kit. The Purify Kit is designed to be a 7-day plan. Now, for some people, they will be able to do that 7-day plan, but it's a fairly intense program that people have to do. And so what I've done is I've modified that 7-day plan into a 10-day plan and a 14-day plan. And the reason for this is I completely appreciate Dr. Tripp and his unwillingness to talk about variations of his program. Because for Dr. Tripp, in his position, he can't tell you that a variation of his program will be successful because he hasn't done a clinical study on that. So we need to respect Dr. Tripp in that whole process. So anyways, with regards to Dr. Tripp, we need to be respectful to his position on this, but at the same time, having been in the health club business for a very long period of time, and having professors that were, one, very much like Dr. Tripp. This is the way it needs to be done. This is what the research shows. But when you put that into practical application, it's very difficult sometimes for people to follow the theoretical aspect or what's been done in the laboratory versus what life is really like. So what I've done, just like I did in the health club industry, is I've taken the theory and the research and I've adapted it to practical application. And so in this case, it's a 10-day and a 14-day program. And that way we can allow a person to be able to choose the plan that is best going to work for them so that we can get the greatest level of compliance, because it's compliance over time that provides you with results. And I've already got some people that are going through the 14-day plan, and they're getting excellent results on the 14-day plan. And so, again, it's the aspect of using the supplements in relationship to the 4 R's that as people apply that information, they're resetting their gut health and they're experiencing the benefits of doing that. So as we go through this document, this manual, we have the 7-day plan. The 7-day plan is pretty much laid out exactly how Synergy Worldwide has it, except for the way that I incorporate the Biome DTX. There's 4 packets that are used, but I incorporate the Biome DTX just slightly differently than what's in the Synergy plan, because, again, I'm looking for the convenience. And I typically have one of the packets for the Biome DTX in the morning shake. And then we have it in the mid-morning snack, as well as then we come back to it at the afternoon snack, and then we also have it during the lunchtime. So I took it out of the dinner and moved it into the morning breakfast. So when a person goes through here, we provided two types of tables. We provided a table that looks like the 7 days. Some people, have a pill box, for lack of a better terminology, where they like to know exactly, okay, if I lay this out in my pill box, exactly what do I need in there so that I know what I'm taking on a daily basis. Some people want to see what their overall day looks like, and so we have that table where they can see what they need to do for breakfast, what they need to do for snack, lunch, snack, and dinner. One of the things that we want people to understand in the tips and suggestions is that they want to consume at least 100 grams of protein per day. In July, I'll do a separate video on this, but the reason for the amount of protein that a person's taking is that the doctors will sometimes say that's too much protein because you're going to have problems with your kidney. But when you when you have a leaky gut and you have that type of problem going on in a person's system, then yes, those proteins are coming in through a leaky gut into the bloodstream, immediately causing inflammation and your immune system reacting. But when you begin to reset your gut health, and one of the 3 E's is eliminate leaky gut, as you repair that small intestine so that there's no longer loose junctions but tight junctions, and everything has to go through the small intestine to be absorbed properly. Now, when you change your bad bacteria to good bacteria, the good bacteria is breaking those proteins down into amino acids. Those amino acids are now properly being absorbed into your system, no longer creating inflammation, being properly delivered. And one of the hallmarks of Dr. Tripp's program is the ability to lose fat and maintain muscle tissue. And part of that process is as you reset the microbiome and address the leaky gut and force food to be brought in through the small intestine the proper way with bacteria that provides the enzymatic processes necessary to break protein down properly into amino acids that can be absorbed and used by your body. Now this is a beneficial step in this whole process of maintaining muscle tissue so that the weight that comes off is fat tissue. And if you maintain muscle tissue or help build muscle tissue because you're doing an exercise program, you're able to maintain metabolism or increase metabolism, which then burns more calories, which also helps to drive the weight loss program. So I'll do a video sometime in July with regards to that so that you can use it as part of helping people understand why it's 100 grams of protein on a daily basis, 30 grams per meal. And now we have a 10-day program. A 10-day program, basically what we did on the 10-day program is similar to what's done in Europe on a 21-day program, but instead of doing 7 days on the body prime to prime the person's system for their Purify program, we're just doing a 3-day program. And because we have enough material in the box, the kit, there's no shake on days 1 and 2. We start 1 shake on day 3, and then days 4 through 10, it's 2 shakes on a daily basis. And we have them start with the Biome DTX and the Biome Actives and the Body Prime to begin the process of resetting their gut health, and at the same time beginning the detoxification program before we introduce them into the shake. So it's just a slight variation off of the 7-day program. And again, this becomes just another option that a person can use. When we go to the 14-day program, basically what we're doing on the 14-day program is we're no longer replacing 2 shakes on a daily basis. What we're doing is we're just replacing 1 shake on a daily basis. And the reason for this 14-day program is because for some people to try and do 2 shakes on a daily basis, they're just not going to be compliant with it. Either their lifestyle doesn't work for that, their job situations or whatever it might be just won't allow them to make the disciplined effort necessary. Or for a person like myself, I know that there's no way that I would ever do 2 shakes on a daily basis. You know, I'm not looking at my shake as a meal replacement. I'm looking at my shake as a meal. And so what we try and do on the 14-day program is give people that option to make that shake just on a daily basis. And then we have the component parts of the Purify Kit properly spread out and be able to understand how to implement that. Every page, again, has the table so that they know what they're doing on a daily basis, or in this case, days 1 and 2, what they need to do on days 1 and 2, and then the slight change to it on days 3 through 14. Plus, we have tips and suggestions for, again, helping people understand how to properly implement this into their lifestyle. Then we come to the Biome Shake. It's the foundation to resetting their microbiome. I titled that for a specific reason. One, I'm a firm believer that the Biome Shake is foundational to resetting your microbiome. And secondly, we want to build into their mindset that the Biome Shake is something that they want to be doing on a daily basis even after they've completed the Purify program. Whether they go into the Fortify program, hopefully go into the monthly Protect program, they want a Biome Shake on a daily basis. And we help them understand why. That the Biome Shake is going to address all of those 3 E's. It's going to help them eliminate dysbiosis, eliminate inflammation, eliminate leaky gut. And we have a base recipe. This base recipe is not designed for weight loss. This base recipe is designed to help a person have the caloric intake that they need to be able to hold their appetite and not be hungry over a long period of time. It's going to improve their energy. It's going to improve cognitive function. It's going to eliminate hunger over an extended period of time. So we show them what the base formula is. It's not using water. It's using unsweetened almond milk because there's only 23 calories. So don't think that if you replace almond milk with water, you're going to drive a weight loss program. It's only 23 calories. It's not going to make one bit of difference in a weight loss program. But what it will do is by using unsweetened almond milk, it will provide you with nutrition that when properly broken down by the right bacteria will provide you with a better level of energy over a longer period of time. That's why this unsweetened almond milk is in there, to provide the nutrients necessary to be able to help you not get hungry. There's a big difference between water, 0 calories and 0 nutrients, versus unsweetened almond milk with all the nutrients that are involved in it and only 23 calories. And that's the basic base formula. We want the sunflower butter in there. Go to a health food store, ask for sunflower butter, no sugar but with salt. Don't buy into this thing that you got to get salt out of your diet. You want the sunflower butter, no sugar with salt, because it's a taste sensation. With the salt, sunflower butter will taste exactly like peanut butter, but there are no allergens in it, so you won't have any potential for allergic reactions. And having sunflower butter in there, 2 tablespoons, yes, it's 210 calories. It's 8 grams of protein. When you add everything together, that gives you a base of 30 grams of protein, which is what we want for the meal. But those are healthy fats, and that sunflower butter will add a minimum of an hour to their shake before they get hungry, anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. If you take that sunflower butter out, they're going to get hungry an hour earlier. If you have the sunflower butter in, they'll go an hour later to maybe even 2 hours before they get hungry. That's how critically important that sunflower butter is in it. Now, you can certainly look for something like an almond butter or some other types of nut butters, but I can tell you from experience, the sunflower butter is the best one to use, has the taste that is widely accepted by most people, and makes a significant taste improvement in what you're doing. Because the other thing that we want them to understand is they want to look forward every morning. And that's where you really want to put this into the program, because the amount of time that it takes to make this base shake is less than or equal to the amount of time that they're going to spend waiting in a fast food line at Starbucks, or in the drive line at Starbucks, or wherever they're going for their morning breakfast or coffee. The amount of time that they're spending in their car waiting to get serviced, or in line waiting to get serviced, is the amount of time that would take them to make this at home. And highly more nutritious, and do what we're trying to do, reset their gut health. So that's the shake is critical to what they're doing. Plus, on page 25, we give them some additional shake recipes. And if that shake is too thick for them, then they can add water to it. So don't replace the almond milk with water. Just add water to the shake, 3 to 6 ounces, to thin it out if you like a thinner shake. Then we go into the 3 E's and the 4 R's to help them to understand how to reset their gut health. And we start with the 4 R's. We want to remove foods and factors that damage their gut. And we want them to understand that we are cognizant of the fact that this could be difficult. You know, when people begin to make a change in what they're currently doing, it always presents challenges to people, both emotionally and physically, because they're set in routines. But we want to understand that once they begin the process of resetting their gut health, some of those things are going to change, because it's their microbiome that is driving their food choices. We'll end up doing in July, most likely, a video to help people understand this better. And when they fix their gut, they fix the problem. So we have 10 key foods and factors that have the greatest impact. There's certainly other foods and there's certainly other factors that can be put into a program, but these are the 10 key that have the greatest impact on a person's gut health. We list all 10 here. We help people understand why and how, and then we have a table down here that lists all 10 of them, shows them from a table standpoint exactly if they take that action, what it's going to do to address the 3 E's. And then when we get into the next page, we're going to ask people to make a commitment to 3. If you've chosen a 7-day, 10, or 14-day plan, of these 10, which 3 of these 10 can you make the commitment to follow for the next 7, next 10, or next 14 days according to the plan that you've chosen? And we allow that individual to make that. So maybe they're not going to make that eliminate wheat commitment, but they could certainly reduce their sugar consumption if they understood how. Or they could reduce their intake of vegetable oils if they could understand how. Or they could reduce their animal protein if they understood how. Or they could reduce their alcohol consumption if they understood how. So again, we want to provide these 10 options and allow them to choose the 3 that are going to work best for them. Once you remove something, you want to replace it. So we have the next section, which is replacing with healing foods. And we begin to give them choices of recommendations, suggestions, and then we want them to understand why that replacement helps them reset their microbiome. So water is important. And you know, there's plenty of water in their morning shake. You know, between the, frozen fruit or water or almond milk, whatever they're using, there's plenty of water in the shake itself. But once they've consumed that shake, starting from mid-morning through mid-evening, we want them to be consuming at least 4 ounces of water every hour. And the easiest way for them to do that is to make get a 16-ounce glass of water. Our recommendation is to use liquid chlorophyll, a tablespoon of liquid chlorophyll per 16 ounces of water. That then gives them a 3-hour period to drink that down and then repeat it again and repeat it again. Or they could use lemon water, take a fresh lemon, cut it in half, squeeze it into a 16-ounce glass of water, and then fill that, drink it over a 3-hour period. And if that's a little bit too strong for some people, then they can always add more water to it. Just don't add sugar or artificial sweeteners. And at the beginning of our conversation today, I don't think that we recorded it before I started the recording, but Tammy was talking about using alkaline water. We do not recommend alkaline water. And the reason why is because alkaline water, especially with people using pHs of 9 or higher, some people are using alkaline water at 10.1. As I shared with Tammy, this is not arrhythmic. This is logarithmic, meaning that 7 is neutral. If I'm going alkaline, I'm going to 8, 9, 10, up to 14. Well, if I go to 9 for my alkaline water that Tammy was using, people think, well, that's just 2 units of measurement. It's not. It's logarithmic. So if I go from 7 to 8, I've gone 10 units. If I go from 7 to 9, I've gone 100 units of measurement. If I go from 7 to 10, where a lot of people use alkaline water, I'm going 1,000 units. And that makes a huge impact on the stomach's pH. The stomach is acidic in nature to help you break down foods. And alkaline water, all alkaline water does is it dilutes the stomach's pH acidity, so you do less of a job breaking the food down to be able to be absorbed into the small intestine. So steer people away from the alkaline water and have them use liquid chlorophyll or lemon water. Again, we have the almond milk here, fermented foods, vegetable proteins. We want them to understand that if they're going to eliminate animal protein, what types of vegetable proteins can they bring into their system? So we have a table, gives them a serving size. We listed the vegetables alphabetically, gives them the serving size, the amount of protein in that serving size, and the amount of calories that they're taking in. But understand that this is not a calorie-based program. When you start eating protein, you're going to be more satisfied. You're going to be able to eat more food and have less impact. And I'll talk about this a little bit later when I show you another chart that we have. Omega-3 fats to substitute their omega-6 fats. Flaxseed powder is one of the simplest things that they can add to their food or to their shake to address inflammation and dysbiosis. Vegetables, again, limit animal protein, so we give them some other things. Yeah, I know ham, I know a pig and pork, are animal, but it's a little bit different in terms of beef, especially the way that beef is processed. So we give them some choices there that they can do. Reduce their sugar consumption. We want to help them understand that if that's one of the things that they're going to commit to, how to be able to know that they're reducing their sugar consumption, because most people are completely oblivious to the amount of sugar that they are consuming on a daily basis. And so what we do in this document is we give them a very simple way of being able to understand that. Everything that they buy in the store has a nutrition facts. It's required by law. And on that nutrition facts, there's just one category and one line that they have to key into. They look for total carbohydrates, and then under that main category is a subcategory, sugars. Every company has to disclose the amount of sugars. You don't read the ingredient label to try and figure out what kinds of sugars are in it, because the food industry has done a great job using strange words to mask sugar. You just need to key on this one line, sugar. Understand that a teaspoon of sugar is equal to 4 grams. So all you need to do is use some very basic math, basic math. You take the number of grams of sugar, divide by 4. That tells you the number of teaspoons of sugar that are in that product. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that they never consume a product that has more than 6 grams of sugar per serving, and that they don't want to consume more than 4 teaspoons of sugar per day or 16 grams per day. Yes, I know that for some programs it's like get all the sugar out of your life. Again, that is ideal, but people will not live that way. But people will live this way if you can show them the change. So a good example of this would be Yoplait yogurt. Although they've gotten the message and they've changed some of the way that they do things. But Yoplait yogurt, which is where this first label on the left was taken from, 26 grams of sugar. I distinctly remember doing a presentation, and a guy was sitting in the back row eating a Yoplait yogurt, and I asked him, because he didn't believe that he consumed that much sugar on a daily basis. And so I had him key on this line, 26 grams divided by 4, 6.5 teaspoons of sugar. I asked him, would you normally put 6.5 teaspoons of sugar in anything that you would drink or eat? No. Well, that's what you just consumed. So you can educate people. They can quickly read. They can quickly do the math, and they can quickly choose products that are going to be compliant to what they're trying to do. Now, the hardest part for most people, if they're going to eliminate wheat products from their diet, is finding replacement foods that taste good and have the texture. So what we want to do is we gave them 5 choices for wheat. These are all excellent choices. These are choices that you can find at your major grocery stores. You can find them at Target. You can go online and order them. You can find some of them at Costco. And we also recommended the book called Wheat Belly by Dr. William Davis to help them understand how modern day wheat is causing so many different health issues, as well as causing problems with their digestive system. And then as far as bread goes, these are the 2 best breads to consume from a taste standpoint, as well as not going to sometimes when you look at gluten-free products, the types of ingredients that they're using still has an impact on blood sugar. These are excellent. They taste good. The best one is Scar multi-grain bread. It has the best texture and taste. And then Udi's whole grain bread is the next one. And Scar might be a little bit difficult for some people to find, but Udi's should be at just about every major grocery store. Then we come back into this 100 grams of protein per day, and we want to give them protein-rich snacks that they can prepare at home. But we also understand that many people are not going to do home preparation. Again, their life is busy. And if you ask them to do home preparation, you're asking them to take on another thing that they have to do to be compliant. So some people will do that. And that will begin the process of helping them to, again, choose foods that are going to best support their body. But at the same time, I found a great website that has protein-rich snacks that you can get at supermarkets, health food stores. You can order all these online. The qualifications for listing these things, they had to be under 250 calories per serving. They had to be at least 5 grams of protein or more, and they had to have 4 grams of sugar or less. So there are 10 choices here. And some of these are pretty good. Lara bars, this is the only Lara bar that you can use because all the other Lara bars, although they're great in protein, are too high in sugar content. But this is the best Lara bar to use. The Bumblebee, that's like taking a small snack to work. Mozzarella sticks always work good. Kind, Nut Delight. There are some good choices that a person can use here to be able to take them and help them have prepackaged snack that they can take with them to work, and then be able to be compliant. So that if they go to the vending machine, it's like, okay, I have no choices here. Am I going to go and starve and then be so hungry going into lunchtime? No, now they can have these, they can take them with them, they can easily put them in their purse, or they can put them into their pocket and take them to work for them and have that. They can put it into their work desk or whatever, their work locker or whatever, and have that so that you've set the person up to be successful in being compliant to the snacking where you're getting 5 grams of protein or more per snack. Then we also wanted them to be able to have protein-rich meals. Now, again, there's a lot of people that are not going to make their lunch and take their lunch to work with them. And there's some people that are going to get stuck at work and they're not going to be able to get home for dinner. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to give them some fast food options that they can use for lunch or dinner. The criteria, there was a fantastic website that I found that is much more extensive than this, but the criteria that I used is it had to be 470 calories or less. It had to have at least 28 grams of protein or more in the meal, and it had to be less than 6 grams of sugar. And you have 16 choices here, from Boston Market to Burger King to Chick-fil-A to Dairy Queen to KFC to McDonald's. Yeah, McDonald's has 3 good choices. They're their premium salads. As long as you get it with the low-fat balsamic vinaigrette, you're fine. I see it might, no, that's spelled right. So again, there are choices that a person can do. And there's a variety there that, they don't have to go to McDonald's for the next 7 days. Usually where there's a McDonald's, in at least major marketplace, there's a KFC. Chick-fil-A's it's growing more in the northern area of the United States. They're all around the southern area of the United States. If you find a McDonald's, you can most likely find a Burger King. Boston Markets would most likely be the one that would be the best meal that they could have, but most likely the most difficult location to find. So again, you have all these different types of opportunities for them to be able to be compliant to their lunch and dinner meals. Now, one of the things that we also did is we want to have them be able to make protein-rich meals at home, either for lunch or dinner. And this is what bogged me down in trying to complete this project, is trying to figure out a way to be able to give them a table without having to give them recipes, but give them a table that allows them to make their own recipes. And so the way the table works is they pick their main protein source out of the yellow column, and then they add 3 sides to it. And those 3 sides could be, you double the size, instead of having a half of cup of vegetables, you have a full cup of vegetables. But that allows them to be able to make sure that their main protein source provides them with close to 30 grams, and then their additional sides add the additional grams of protein to be able to be compliant at 30 grams of protein or more. So we have the table there, and then in the next page, what I do is I give them 7 types of meals that they could put together. Meal 1 is an egg omelet. You could have an omelet for lunch or dinner. Add 3 ounces of ham to it, 1/3 of a cup of cheddar cheese, and then, I really don't care for green vegetables and onions in my omelet, but if people want onions and green vegetables, they can throw whatever they want into that omelet, but that basic recipe for an omelet is 38 grams of protein. And then there's, again, different, let's say that a person, I'll go down here to meal number 5. They're used to eating like what I would call an Italian meal. The ancient harvest linguine, is almost tastes the same as regular linguine. You can also get this in spaghetti. And if you get the Jones all-natural pork sausages, there's no hormones, there's no nitrates, there's no, that is the best one to get. You could take 3 ounces of the pork sausage, cook it up. You can either cut it up, or you can, mash it up into smaller particles. You can put that into a marinara sauce, or you can put some cooked spinach into that, 1/3 of a cup of Parmesan cheese on the top. Again, you've got 36 grams of protein, and that meal will taste very similar to their Italian meal that they're used to doing. So again, it gives people the option to be able to look at how they can be able to use that table on the previous page and begin the process of creating some meals outside of the 7 that I give them suggestions for. But those suggestions are just to help them understand how to use the table and make combinations that allow them to make sure that their lunch and dinner meals, if they're making them, are 30 grams of protein or more, and they're not boring. That they don't have to eat the same thing Oh, chicken breast again, another chicken breast again. I'm getting 14th, I'm on my 14th day of having chicken breast twice a day. No, we don't want them to have to go through that. We want to give them some variation and some variety. And then on the next page, we want to repair with specific supplements. Again, if you ever walk into a health food store, you are overwhelmed by the number of supplements that are in the store. If you go to Whole Foods and go to the supplement section of Whole Foods, again, it's an overwhelming experience for a person who has no idea what they're looking for. These are the 4 key that they need to be using on an ongoing basis to help them repair their abdominal cavity. L-glutamine. And then what we did is we helped them understand that L-glutamine is a major component of the Biome DTX, which they may want to continue to use after they completed the Purify program. You know, certainly if they're using the Biome DTX on the 7-day program, you're not going to want to continue that doing 4 a day, but they might want to continue doing 1 a day in their morning shake. The magnesium, again, we want them to understand that that's in the body prime, and we highly recommend continuing on this product after their Purify program is over. The zinc is a component part of the Biome Shake. We highly recommend that they continue on the on that Biome Shake after their Purify program is over. The borage oil is a major component of the Biome Shake. Again, we want them to continue to use the Biome Shake after they're done with the Purify program. Basically, what I'm setting them up for are, 1, the 4 key nutrients that they need that will have the greatest effect on resetting their gut microbiome and addressing the 3 E's, and at the same time putting into their mind the Protect program that they will want to continue on a monthly basis if they decide not to go into the Fortify program. And then we also have the next page, which is rebalance with prebiotics and probiotics. Inulin is our first choice, and then you've got the fructooligosaccharides and the Phyceum husks. And that is in the inulin is in the Biome Shake and the Biome Actives, and then the other 2 are in the Biome Shake. So again, we highly recommend those 2 products as part of their Purify program. Our Bacillus coagulans is the probiotic that we recommend. It's in the Biome Actives. We highly recommend that they continue with the Biome Actives. So that is basically the Purify Manual. And then the next page that we have in the Purify Manual is some additional tips and suggestions. Don't do this on your own. We encourage people to do this with their spouse or their partner or a family member or friend. That way they can get support and encouragement and hold each other accountable as they begin the process of resetting their gut health. Consider joining a group so that, again, each month, hopefully you're starting a new Purify program with new people or people who might be repeating, whatever the situation. But that way they can join a group where they can get group support and encouragement. Implement either the Fortify or Protect program. After people have begun to reset their gut health and they feel better, they don't want to go back to how they were eating before. They don't want to go back to how they were feeling before. So a common question that we get is, what do I do next to keep feeling this good? And the answer would be either the Fortify program or the Protect program. Now, we're still waiting for Synergy to put together a Protect program and be able to allow us to buy the component parts of the Purify program on an individual a la carte basis. So the Fortify program is coming out in July. We're not that far away from it, maybe 4 weeks out from their launch. I don't know the specific date in July that they're going to launch the Fortify program. But we want people to understand it's a clinically proven and studied program. It's a 12-week commitment. It outperforms every one of the brand name weight loss programs. That the median weight loss for this program was 26 pounds of body fat and 17 pounds of fat, or I should say body weight, and 17 pounds of fat. Plus it had great improvements in blood pressure, total cholesterol, LDL or bad cholesterol, triglycerides, and other biomarkers. And when we build the Fortify manual, we'll go into specific depth and detail of how the Fortify program, the clinically studied one, if you follow that program to the T, this is what people got. Then the Protect program is a monthly program. And what are the products? Well, we're hoping that Synergy will put these products into a monthly program for us. And if they don't, they'll give us the ability to buy these on an individual basis. So it would be 2 of the Biome Shake, 1 bottle of Biome Actives, and 1 bottle of Body Prime. And we'll put together a manual for the Protect program so that people understand, which is basically the 14-day program. You just continue to do the 14-day program, except you're doing it for 28 to 30 days. And that's their monthly Protect program. And then the last thing that we have in here, well, I take that there's 2 more pages. We also want them to understand that the shake is not designed to be a throwaway. Rather, the shake is designed to be so tasty that they look forward to it every day. I would much rather have my shake every day than to go out and have some type of meal at a restaurant for breakfast. And for me, it's because, 1, my shake tastes great. I've never gotten tired of my shake and the taste. And secondly, the way that it affects me, I have energy as opposed to eating out for breakfast. I feel lethargic. So that morning shake is so critically important. And we, again, have the base recipe, and then we give them some other potential shake recipes: a green power smoothie, a morning wake-up smoothie, a nitric oxide powerhouse smoothie, the dreamsicle smoothie. If you're a kid that used to love getting dreamsicles from the Good Humor Man, there it is. Greek Delight smoothie. So we want to give them some choices. Maybe as time goes on, we'll have a separate PDF that will have if you've got shake recipes that you love and that you use, feel free to send them to me, and then I'll put them into a separate PDF so that we can give people the ability to make some other choices so that variety is part of their life. And every one is at least 30 grams of protein or more, and they're all going to be taste sensations for people that they look forward to making their morning shake. And then the last page that we have is challenges and benefits. We want people to know that there are going to be challenges as they go through this program, but the benefits far outweigh the challenges. So we have a column of challenges, we have a column of benefits, and then we also want them to understand that exercise is part of it. But I can tell you, even for being in the health club business, as I told people many times, what you put in your mouth has a greater effect on your weight than the amount of time you spend on a machine. You know, I could be on a machine for an hour and burn 250 calories, and I could consume those 250 calories back in less than 15 minutes. So exercise is important, and we want them to be able to understand that, but their greatest benefits in resetting their gut health are going to come through their food choices. But if they want to enjoy elite wellness, then exercise is important, and it needs to be adjusted to their goals. And for most people in the general population, it's a gradual buildup. So we recommend them getting some type of tool to track, like a Fitbit or pedometer. And then I know that Synergy has a higher level for this, but my recommendation is to have them start out at 1,000 steps per day. And then every week add 500 steps to their program, with their goal being to get to 3,000 steps by the 4th week of their program of resetting their microbiome. And again, if people need a slower pace, that's fine. They can choose their form of exercise. But again, exercise helps them in their overall health and wellness, will help them to burn more calories. And if they're properly resetting their gut health and taking in the amount of protein that we're recommending, and it gets properly broke down, then that protein will be broken down into amino acids, properly absorbed into their system to be able to help them maintain and build muscle tissue, which then increases, either maintains or increases metabolism, which again drives the weight loss, which is one of the reasons why the percent body fat loss is so high on the Fortify program. It's because of what they've done to reset that gut health. So that's the Purify Manual. Do I have any questions? Let me go in here and unmute people. So do I have any questions from anyone on anything that I've shared with you this morning?
Timothy here.
Yes, Timothy.
Comment on the alkaline water. On most alkaline machines, there is a purify in the beginning of it. So you don't have to drink pipe water. You can use your alkaline machine and use purified water.
Yeah, that would be great. So certainly if a person has a machine or is thinking about getting a machine, just help them, educate them so that they're using purified water, not highly alkaline water.
And in any case, if you can use alkaline water, you should do 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks of purified water before you come on to the lowest grade of purified, of alkaline.
Thank you, Timothy, for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Anyone else have any questions or comments on our presentation this morning? All right. I can hear someone.
It's Judy.
Yes, Judy.
So great presentation, very, very detailed. Thank you so much for all the work that you've done. Well, as we're talking about water, I did not mention there the amount of water that that we should drink per day, and perhaps we could just add that 100 ounces per day, so people have a guide of how much water they should be drinking.
Well, Judy, that would be, if I'm drinking 4 ounces on a daily basis, that would mean that I would have to have 25 hours in the day. I always have this issue with regards to, sometimes you have to remember that the foods that you're consuming also have water built into it, and if I'm a believer that I usually take my water not during my meal unless I'm at a restaurant, but if I'm at home, I always drink my water after my meal. And so again, I suppose we can, well, let's you and I talk about that before I add it in, because I'm cognizant of what Synergy is recommending, but I wanted to help people understand, okay, 100 ounces of water, how am I going to do that? Well, if they just drink 4 ounces of water on an hourly basis between mid-morning to mid-evening, and when you add back in the water that's usually contained in their actual meals themselves, they're most likely getting close to 100 ounces of water. And that was my thinking of why I did what I did.
Right. And it's more I guess the importance of adding water, because most people do not drink water. And, it's an important part of the program.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Judy. Anyone else have any questions or comments?
Dan, where can we get a copy of this book at this manual app? Or will you have the URL ready to go out, or how does that work?
Yeah, the URL, it's not up yet. It will be oursynergyfamily.com/Purify Manual.
Okay.
That will be up by Monday morning, 7 a.m. And when I send out the email newsletter on Monday morning, that link will be in the newsletter.
Very good. Will you make sure I get that email?
Yeah, the URL will be oursynergyfamily.com/Purify Manual.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Dan, it's Donald. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Homer, go ahead first, and then we'll come to Donald.
I like all the idea of the the menus and more information is good for people, but for the first step, I think 14 days. I mean, getting him to do 7 days is it's hard enough. I guess giving people a longer decisions. I guess people like to take the path of least resistance, and I'm just curious on. I guess we'll just have to try it.
Yeah, and so Homer, all this is a manual to give people options to be compliant. So when you sit down with a person, you can help them identify which program that they want to use. Do you want to do the 14-day, do you want to do the 7-day program, get it over with in 7 days? Just understand that this is what we need to do. And if you talk to me with doing 7 days, I'd say, Homer, there's no way that I'm going to do that. So if I've got a 14-day program, Homer, I can do that 14-day program. I can do a shake once a day in the morning and then add the rest of these components in. So again, as you work with people, all the manual is just a guideline to help you work with a person to identify the best strategy that's going to help them be compliant. And in there, okay, so which of these 10 factors are you going to commit to? What of the remove foods and factors that damage your gut, which of the 10, pick 3 of these. All right, here are your 3. Let's go to the section of manual so I can show you, like you picked reduce sugar intake. Let me show you the easiest way to be able to make sure that the foods that you're choosing are low in sugar. And then you can use that section of the manual to help them. You've decided to eliminate wheat. All right, that's going to be a challenge. I'll tell you right up front. However, let's go to this section of the manual. You like pasta? Okay, here are some great choices for pasta replacements that are gluten-free, that have taste and texture similar to what you're used to, and those would be good choices to remove. You like a sandwich? All right, well, you're not going to be able to eat, your Wonder Bread anymore, but I would recommend that let's see if we can find Scar in your area, because that Scar bread has a great texture, a great taste. It's gluten-free. You can make a sandwich with the Scar bread and take that sandwich instead of your Wonder Bread sandwich. So again, the manual is designed to be able to help you work with your client to help them be compliant to the pathway that they're choosing to go down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Thank you.
So I'm not telling people to do a 14-day plan. I'm giving them an option so that I can work with them and help them choose. Like I'm working with a fellow over in Europe. There's no way that he would do the 7-day plan. But on the 14-day plan, let me see if I can get his results here real quick. So since he's on the 14-day plan, in 7 days on the 14-day plan, he's lost 9 pounds of weight. His body mass index is decreased by 1.4. He's lost 3.5% in body fat, and he's lost 2 inches off his waistline.
Great.
Pretty good results.
Absolutely.
And the key is, he's compliant. Before he couldn't be compliant. It was too intense. And now that he's doing this process, plus one of the things that I require from him is I require him to send me a food diary every day. Tell me what you've eaten and how you're feeling. So he's gone through some detox issues. He had headaches. He had pains in his legs and his body. Now by day 7, the headaches and pains are all gone. He's feeling good. And the other thing that he's noticing is before, when he struggled with making certain food choices, now he looks forward to those food choices. So even in the 14-day plan of just doing one meal replacement and implementing the food choices that are part of this manual, he's resetting his gut health, and he's seen significant changes in how he's looking and feeling, even to the point where other people are beginning to notice. And now he's positively motivated to continue that process, because as what Tammy shared with me, Tammy's learning how to eat for her body as opposed to eat for her emotions. And sometimes those emotions are driven by the microbiome because of the poor bacteria that's in your microbiome. They want those comfort foods that are part of the emotional process, which feeds the microbiome, the bad microbiome. You have to understand that your microbiome doesn't care about you. The microbiome cares about itself. So it's going to force you to choose foods that are going to support its environment, not your environment. And Homer, as you've shared in other situations we've been on, isn't it remarkable on how the foods that you are eating today, you've grown to, you choose those because you want them, not because you have to have them, but because you actually want them. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And I wouldn't go back the other way at all. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's because you don't have that microbiome in your system. You know, you may have some of those bad bacteria still there, but they are not the dominant one driving your food choices, causing you to eat those foods before that you won't go back to that you used to eat every day. And you're experiencing the benefits of the flip in your microbiome, how you've reset your microbiome. You're experiencing the healthy choices because that good bacteria is breaking food down for what it wants, and the benefit is what it wants and the nutrients that it's creating are beneficial for your body. So it's a win-win situation. Instead of in the other situation, it's a win for the microbiome, the bad bacteria, but it's a lose for you in terms of your health. So just use this, if you decide to use it, as a manual, exactly what it is, to help a person to identify the pathway that they're going to go down and to be able to put in place the food choices and replacement foods and understanding of how they can be successful and compliant. Anyone else have any? I think, Donald, you had a question or a comment.
Just a comment. Thank you, Dan. Just a comment. And this is the manual I've been waiting for. By waiting, I mean this is so easy. I mean, I had my challenges, and I still do, of selecting food choices. And I mentioned to you going and being overwhelmed inside the supplement store and that kind of stuff. So I appreciate this webinar, and I love the manual already.
Thank you, Donald. And understand that as you use the manual, as other people on this call use it, if there needs to be a change, or if you find that something's not working or something could be said better, or, you know, again, understand that this is a PDF. We'll make the improvements, we'll make the changes as people use it, get experience with it.
Oh, I wasn't getting.
We can go in and we can make those changes, and then we can put the PDF up, and we can always be updating the PDF so it's always current, it's always the most effective. It's all designed to help you allow your client to be as compliant as possible, because if they are compliant and follow the Purify Kit and the Purify Manual, they are going to see significant health changes that they not only feel, but other people see and make comment, wow, you look fantastic. What are you doing? And that, if you understand how to leverage, will allow you to gain additional clients to go into the Purify system and continue to build your base of customers that have gone through Purify, may choose not to do Fortify, but can go on to the Protect monthly program to build your income stream in Synergy Worldwide. Any other people have comments or questions before we say goodbye?
Dan?
Yeah.
This is Penny.
Hey, Penny.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate what you've just done, because I haven't said too much about when I did the program, because I was disappointed in my results. And I'm healthy. I normally eat well, but I am an emotional eater. And 7 days, even though I followed it faithfully, it wasn't enough. It wasn't long enough for me to change my thinking about how I was eating. And then not knowing really what to eat, I probably ate less than I should have, which might have caused me more problems than getting what I needed. And so for me to, and then my sister, she couldn't stay on it at all for 7 days. It was too strict for her. Mm-hmm. So this is giving us the opportunity to I'm so excited about this now. I still have a kit because I even asked the last time I think I was able to be on, could I do it 2 times in a row because a week wasn't enough.
Sure.
But I can see, and with all the information you've given us and telling us even I have a whole closet full of vitamins, and I don't know that I'm taking them right, but I want to be healthy. And this, you have put it all in, you've given us all the information, the vitamins, the foods, the how to eat it, when to eat it, what is, what's good and what isn't, the water. I live in Arizona. It's going to be 110, 114 today. We are focusing so much on drinking water and how important it is. And so, but even knowing how important it is, do we do it? No. And this, with all the information you provided and the support from other people that are, on the program and doing it, is just, I can't say enough. I thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So as you use this and you have questions and that, again, always feel free to contact me, Penny, and if you see ways to improve it as you practically put it into operation. We want this manual to be practical in application so that people can gain the greatest benefit from it, because it's all about helping people, as you've already articulated, Penny. We need to be able to help people understand how they can practically put it into their lifestyle long enough to be able to experience the changes, and as their microbiome resets, also then reset their food choices, because now their good bacteria are driving their food choices as opposed to their bad bacteria.
Well, and that's one of the things I've hesitated in sharing it with some people, because I know who they are, and I did not have the answers or the knowledge or the success to be able to actually share how wonderful it is because of all, other than the other people's successes, and I've shared those, but I just didn't have the information or the confidence in myself because of me not being as successful as I had hoped. So I really look at this as my health Bible, and you've just given us so much information, and I'm going to study this, and I will be so much more knowledgeable, not only with the information you provided, but by actually following the program now, because I now have the tools that I needed and didn't even know I needed too much until you went through all of this.
Well, good. Well, keep me posted on your experience.
I will do that, and thank you.
Thank you, Penny. Thanks for sharing.
All the best, Penny.
Thank you, all of you.
Anyone else have anything that you want to share, comment on, or ask a question on?
This is Tracy.
Yes, Tracy.
In regards to Penny's comment, this works differently on everybody. And as you know, my results when I had done the Purify, I lost a lot of weight right off. As I'm doing the Fortify, I'm really struggling to get more weight off, but I'm still getting inches off, or I'm maintaining. So the Purify got the toxins out of my system quickly. The Fortify is slowly getting me on the path to a constant, maintained, and healthy weight, and resetting. And it's real, it's still resetting, but it's coming off slower than what it did with the Purify. So everybody's body is different. And when I'm with our beta group, when I'm hearing the success that Tammy is having right now and that Judy's having right now, I'm just like, I know that I lost a lot on Purify, and I just have to stay focused on maintaining compliance, because I know that it's a long journey, not just the short race. So this is awesome because it does give us the the foundation that we can, you know, share with our customers what to expect. If you're not getting the instant results, they will come. And I love what you've done. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Anyone else before we say goodbye?
This is Gene.
Yes, Gene.
I am on the 10 days of 14-day program. So far, I am doing great. I don't have no problem. I use the way you prescribe me to use it. I don't have no headache. I don't have no problem. Only one thing, I follow different on what I eat. I eat by my blood group. Some of the food I use, I'm not used to use it in what I eat.
Sure.
But so far, I can tell you I'm feeling great. I got 4 more days to go, and I start feel myself really different. The reason I do my exercise every day, I wake up without no problem, no challenge, and I just let you know I feel good.
Great. Thank you for sharing that, Gene.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for staying committed, too. Anyone else before we say goodbye? Have a blessed weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dan.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.